Good evening. Welcome to the Bitter Knitters podcast. It is Wednesday, April 4th, 2018. My name is Jacqueline. Arthur's here.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo. Sorry, that's the only Scarberian I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Yow.
And like guy. A lot of Scarborough
Hey,
people say guy. Hey guy.
My mans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Liz keeps fucking telling me Scarberian slang because she listens to fucking Drake out of nowhere. Now she thinks she's fluent in fucking Scarberian.
Drake. He's not even from Scarborough or like the ghetto. Okay?
I don't know.
Sorry, Liz. I know you like him, but he didn't start from the bottom. He grew up in Rosedale with a pool. Okay.
Shit. I'd like a fucking pool.
I know. I'd even take like a little kiddie blow up pool and be happy.
Yeah.
So let's get into the stories. I want to do a little update. Where was the one I want to talk about? The last person that was injured that survived and was injured in the Parkland shooting is going home today, released from the hospital, which is nice.
Yeah.
We had the big YouTube shooting yesterday where probably a mentally disturbed person.
Oh,
I don't know much about the person. Seems mentally disturbed from what I've been reading and seeing and stuff.
I got to see some of her YouTube content, the content in question before YouTube removed it, and yeah, this chick was not fucking right in the head. Like, I don't want to make light of it, but she was throwing red flags all over the fucking place.
Yeah, and YouTube did what they should have done, right?
Yeah.
And she didn't take it well, and killed herself and injured two other people?
Three people injured.
3 other people.
Here's the thing too, that it's a glaring example of how kind of just not right she was. Most people, and I'm willing to really say about 99% of people in that situation where they're going to take their own life, especially with a firearm, puts that gun to their head. She shot herself in the chest. Like you know what I mean? Like that's deranged behavior right there. Like it's a red flag amongst itself, And
women, now I know not all women are the same, but women tend not to use guns in suicides.
No.
We tend to go for the softer kind of deaths, the hanging pills.
Hanging pills. Pills is a big one.
Slitting the wrist in the bathtub sort of thing. Yeah. We don't normally do like violent stuff to ourselves.
No.
Something's not right there. I did say, and I'm not to make light of it, but she really did look like a cross between Joan Jett and Janet from Three's Company.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. Just honestly, and again, it's not to make fun or make light or anything.
No.
But, she almost looked like a character of like, if you ask like
a sketch comedy show or something.
Yeah, like if you ask some like butthurt Republican to draw like a lefty, a quote fucking lefty, like she's almost a character of what I would imagine they would fucking draw. Now, the thing that really bugs me is the same thing after Parkland. It's people are using this to further their own political bullshit. See, I told you she is a Democrat. See, I told you it's them. It's like, fuck off. Like, fuck off. A seriously ill person. Yeah, exactly. Like a seriously ill fucking person went into people's workplaces and decided to fucking shoot at them,
And we're talking about YouTube people. Like, we're not talking about somebody who works at the Pentagon. They're not military people. And I'm not saying people sitting at their desks in the Pentagon deserve to be shot. Absolutely not. But you're not in a military or a policeman situation.
It's not even a fucking place like InfoWars, where, again, I wouldn't condone it, but I could absolutely understand somebody trying to shoot the guy who keeps perpetuating the crisis actor fucking bullshit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I could actually understand and sympathize with that a little bit. Somebody would
snap eventually. Yeah.
But no, it's YouTube. It's fucked up. Now, I kind of agree that I've even noticed that YouTube has been stifling people's views and demonetizing videos and shit like that. It's all there, but it's definitely not a cause to fucking, go try to murder a bunch of people. Luckily, nobody died. It still sucks that 3 people were fucking wounded. It sucks even the mental trauma that the people that were just there, are going to have to deal with for the rest of their fucking lives. It could have been a shit ton worse. So I guess we're lucky that's
She only had a handgun, right?
Handgun, yeah.
Yeah. Thank God she didn't have an AR-15.
Yeah.
Anywho, And then I just read a story just before the show started about Julian Edelman from the Patriots.
Okay.
So apparently, I don't know the date of it. Let me see if I can find this article. My computer's running so slow. He put out a Instagram picture, and somebody contacted him through private message saying, you know, someone is saying that they're going to shoot up their school on your page. You need to, you know, look into it or do something about it. Yeah. So he contacted his assistant and had her go through the hundreds of comments, right? She found it. She located the police in Boston, and the Boston police contacted the Michigan police where this kid was located. He basically said, I'm going to shoot up a school. What is it? Let me see. I want to get the exact quote here so we know what he said. I'm going to shoot up my school. Shoot my school up. Watch the news. Coming from it's ya boy Aiden. All right. So the Michigan police went to his house. He admitted to posting the threat on the Instagram page. They also found 2 rifles that belonged to his mother. He was arrested, taken into a juvenile detention center, and I mean, you know, he's been charged with making a false report of a threat of terrorism. But who's to say he wasn't really going to do it? We don't know.
Well, that's the issue with this whole thing is you cannot give someone trouble for something they haven't done. Yeah. You know, like, as much as I would like that to kind of be the case, I guess, but you can't do it. You can't preemptively be like, well, you said the words, you know, that means you're 100% going to do it. Because, I mean, there's no way that just people run their mouth on the internet just for the shits and giggles. I mean, that's not a thing that fucking exists at all, right? Like, that's not in the realm of possibility. So it's, you know, it's kind of a messy thing. Like, as much as I do kind of agree with it, you kind of can't, you know, you can't go around doing that. You can't arrest people for shit they haven't done yet, even if they say that they're going to do it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, he's going to get this charge now. If it sticks, we don't know. I'm sure he's going to have to go through a lot of counseling.
Oh yeah, he'll be on a watch list at the minimum. You know, hopefully, which to me that's the smarter way of going about it. Yeah. You know. The unfortunate thing is with these types of events is there's shit all you can do until it happens. And
this is the best case scenario though, is somebody reported it, right? And the people took it serious. Yeah. And people took it serious and contacted the police. This is what we all should be doing if we see something like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's you know,
now let's hope the mother takes the rifles out of the home so the kid doesn't have access to them in her home.
No, just take him out of the home. You can't deny her unalienable right to fucking own and possess weapons of murder. You can't take that away from her. What do you love
more, America? Your children or your guns? Oh, I think we already know the answers to that.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, you can't ask people to fucking, you know, to have the common sense and be like, well, he is my kid, so I should have to go without. No, that's the right. That's in the fucking Constitution. Fuck you, murder, America. Woo!
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's fucked. I mean, but you know, even at that though, is there something you can do? Like, is there a way that we can kind of like a law or some kind of legislation that they can enact that does say that essentially that, you know, your kid was arrested for making terroristic threats, you now forfeit your right to own firearms?
I'm not sure if there's a lot, but I bet you if she wants her kid back, I'm going to bet that like Children's Aid or Social Service or whatever they call it there is going to basically say you can't have the kid in the home with guns there.
Yeah.
Which I think is reasonable.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, let's face it, you failed as a parent. You know, like if your kid's sitting there on the internet talking about fucking murdering people, like you fucked up. I'm sorry. Yeah. Your kid is an absolute representation of you and how you fucking raised it, the values you gave it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess you do kind of deserve to be punished as a parent for that as well. But it's fucking weird.
Yeah, and once like social, what do they call it in the States? Social services. Once they get involved, it doesn't matter what the laws are because they got your kid, and if you want your kid back, you got to do whatever the hell they say.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want my kids coming up in the system.
No. I just watched on Netflix this week, over the weekend. What was it called? Girls Incarcerated. Okay. And they're just kids that are in a juvenile detention center in Indiana, but just, you know, like. Yeah, I wouldn't want my kids raised that way.
No, but
so.
Yeah, I mean that's good though. It's cool that, you know, at least they had the mind to be like, hey, you know, we got to go find these comments, take the threat serious.
Yeah.
And at least attempt to do something about it.
Yeah, and I saw that this guy Edelman, I don't know his name. He tried to contact the person that contacted him initially in the direct messages. They have not responded. They don't know who it is, but I guess he wants to kind of say thank you.
No, absolutely.
I guess they're not looking for glory because they haven't, they haven't come out looking for their season's passes to.
Yeah. Well, what happened to the that sentiment that was flowing around in the early 2000s there? If you see something, say something. Like why is that all of a sudden gone away with in terms of this shit? You know what I mean? I thought
because you're only supposed to see stuff that quote shifty brown people are doing.
Exactly. If it's icky fucking brown people doing it, then you got to say something, right? But if they're fucking white folk, you just kind of shut your fucking mouth. And
Americans with the real white Americans with their Second Amendment rights.
Yeah,
you don't have to report that crazy shit.
No, you don't have to report that.
But if you reported every American you saw wearing a gun in public,
it's
you'd be on the phone all day.
So the same person that I've been saying through the gun debate, the gun-toting crazy fucking person on my list, posted this photo of a guy sitting in a fucking diner with some firearm strapped to his side, and he was like, wouldn't you feel so much safer sitting at a restaurant knowing that this man's there? And I'm like, no, because I would look at that guy and I'd be like, bro, why are you ready to kill somebody? Like, what went wrong in your life that you're like leaving your house going, fuck it, man, I might have to murder a person today?
I'm terrified just that he's incompetent, because I've seen all these quote unquote professionally trained people, policemen, security guards, that shoot themselves by accident. I'm not trusting some dude in a diner that's probably like fatter than me and about to have a heart attack.
I mean, the guy that they show in the meme, he was a good looking fucking fit dude. He looked like he took some fucking militia training and shit, because that's a big thing for them. But again, though, to me, like, just the thought of having it outside strapped to you visibly is fucking batshit nuts. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree. I'm with you on that. I'll just say this quickly. I won't name them, somebody I know very well on Facebook share a meme. Basically, it was like a whole long thing. I didn't read it all. It was talking about how the Nazis took away the gun rights and how this and it was like, a 2-hour long essay. I was just like, this is not what it's about. It's not about taking away your rights to have a gun. I'm like, you own guns because we have gun laws where you have to go through courses here in Canada. You have guns. We already have gun control in Canada. Yeah. And then I was like, and then I brought up your point. I'm like, it doesn't matter what gun you have in America. A drone will take out your neighborhood, not just your house.
Right.
You're not going to fight off the American government with your freaking little puny guns. And you're right, 100% when you say that.
Not at all. Because, I mean, again, like, if it's to defend yourself from a tyrannical government, well, your government has drones and tanks. Do you have drones and tanks? No, you have some rifles and a shotgun. You ain't going to do shit there, Cletus. Like, no offense. All the fucking camo in the world isn't going to stop them from throwing on the IR light on their fucking drone and just droning you from fucking 3 miles out. Fuck you, fuck your family. They don't care. It's the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard of. It literally is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
No response, by the way. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a lively debate, but no response.
Well, you can't deny these facts. The whole... I needed to defend myself. Well, that attitude is the reason why you need to defend yourself. If you would all just stop fucking thinking that everyone that's out to get you, you probably wouldn't need to fucking murder each other. Oh, excuse me. It's just, again, the whole thing's fucking stupid. Yeah. It makes no sense. They're archaic arguments. I don't think that, like, even as they say, these evil devil lefties, and it fucking, this is the thing that really bothers me. It fucking hurts me that these assholes are making me defend a bunch of people that I personally believe are batshit fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had to join the side of the people that I've been fucking mocking publicly for a long time now, because even though I don't agree with a lot of what they say or how they're going about it, I mean, they at least are coming from a position that I can agree with. That is that life is more valuable than anything. You know what I mean? That everyone has the right to life. Now, I understand criminals exist and yada, yada, yada. And you having that gun might make you feel like you're impervious to fucking crime. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I personally see this whole castle law, fucking concealed carry shit creating more problems than it stops. Because now you have that that absolute power, you know, that regardless of the situation, you can pull that absolute power off your fucking hip and win said scenario. That's tempting for a lot of people because again, people are fucking weak. People
get scared, and when you get scared, you're gonna you know, defend yourself as best as you think you can, and that's it. Now you've killed, you know, and maybe not an innocent person, but maybe somebody's doing something that doesn't deserve to be shot to death.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. It's so fucked
up. I mean, I hate thieves. I just said this to you. I hate thieves. If I steal a package off your front porch, I don't deserve to be shot in the head.
You know, and that's the thing too. Like, I really started developing my opinions on it just after one story. I think it might have been Bowling for Columbine. I heard it where people were breaking into this guy's neighbor's house, and he shot them both in the back while they were running away with a shotgun, and he got like nothing. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, that's murder, bud. Like, you shot two people that were running away in the back. Like, that's an execution. You executed two people. Yeah. Like, and
if somebody in a gang shoots someone in the back, that's a murder. That's an execution.
It's execution. You just executed a human being. Yeah. I mean, but whatever. There's nothing that anybody can do unless we are sitting in the U.S. and we are able to vote and shit like that. Like me and you have and can continue to talk this fucking topic to death and say, like, I don't want to say like overly fucking intelligent thoughts about it, but we could have good points to be made, and no one's gonna. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, and I think the problem too is that an unwillingness to learn anything new or factual if it goes against your this is for all of it that goes against your beliefs. So if you believe you should have guns, you think that anybody doing gun control is taking away all guns, and you're unwilling to see any reason, and that's the problem.
You know, as I've said, the nuance is dead. Nuance is dead. There's no such thing as gray area anymore. It's either black or it's fucking white, and if you, regardless on what side you fall on, you're going to get fucking land-based through social media, regardless of your position. Like, it does not fucking matter what you think, how you feel. Like, I've been called a libtard so many times now over this fucking gun control debate. It's fucking hilarious to me that these people think I'm a fucking liberal because I kind of don't want to murder other people. You know what I mean? Like, to me not go, hey,
the comments are ridiculous.
It's insane.
I went to the one article about the young African-American kid that got accepted into all 20 Ivy League schools and got the $260,000 tuition.
Yeah.
And I went to read the comments because I thought, oh, there's going to be a whole bunch of like racist comments.
Oh, of course.
You know what I saw? It blew my mind. It was all like, oh, well, I guess that what's his name? David Hogg is jealous.
Yeah.
Like,
why like bring him up?
Everything. I really thought I was going to see racist. I didn't see any racist things, so I guess that's refreshing.
Yeah, I guess. Hey. But yeah, and like that, like it's so disgusting to me to see these fucking 50, 60-year-old fucking men go at these kids and like literally fucking talking about death threats or how I'll fucking murder these kids. They come for my guns. It's like, do you not see the problem? Like, can you not see how fucking unhinged you are? That statement you just made, I'm going to murder fucking children if they come for my fucking gun. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Like, you think it's the kids coming from your gun anyway. It's going to be the government, you dum-dum.
Yeah, and there it is. And then you'll finally have a right to say, see, Arthur, I told you, tyrannical fucking government. And I'm like, all right, enjoy the drone blast, dumb fuck.
Yeah.
In all honesty, you know what? If that shit happens and there's a fucking civil war in the U.S. over their fucking guns, I'm jumping the border. I'm joining the goddamn army. And I'm going to be that asshole controlling the fucking drone. Be like, haha, fuck you. Boo.
Well, you know what? I will say this. You know, we talk about that guy from my work. I'm not going to give him a name because he's, not worth it. He outwardly admits that he's trying to stir up a civil war down there, and him and his friends, that's what they are actively doing. They want to cause a civil war in America.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, this shit's been going on for a while. This is just a stolen sentiment from fucking 4chan. Like, this idiot's fucking like on the up and up with the fucking, he sounds like a fucking idiot. It's not.
I know, you gotta come into my work one day and just fucking take him down.
Yeah. Like, it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna go for a full out fucking civil war. I mean, they're goddamn USA. They're not fucking like Rwanda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the fucking USA.
They won't need to do a civil war because the government will literally, like you said, obliterate anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, anybody who tries to make up a militia to take down the government, you know what's going to happen to you? Bye-bye.
Well, even that, I've seen some videos of these fucking so-called militias out there playing fucking airsoft with one another. Like, congratulations.
Yeah.
You found the one idiot that went to fucking Iraq or Afghanistan that was willing to fucking show you some tactical shit, but y'all are still dumb. Like, cardboard cutouts don't shoot back at you. They don't.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and think you're fucking badass as fucking all your camo and your fucking airsoft gun and sitting out there rolling around in the fucking mud like you're fucking Rambo. You're still just a fucking kid LARPing in the woods. Like, you're a fucking nerd. You're a kid that I would have beat up in high school for being a fucking nerd. Like,
yeah.
Fuck
how are these, when I see these videos, I think, how is it any different than when we see these people training for Al Qaeda or ISIS?
It's not. But because they're, you know, good Christian, God-fearing Christian Americans, you know, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. I mean, they're not icky brown people. We have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Right? They're not icky brown people. Because there's the other aspect of this, and I want to bring this question up to a few of the people I see, you know, toting around the whole gun, like pro-gun shit. Would you feel the same if it was, you know, a group of fucking Muslims expressing their Second Amendment rights? You know what I mean? By walking around, because you wouldn't.
Don't even want. I mean,
you wouldn't.
Like black people with their Second Amendment rights still get shot to death by the.
You know what I mean? The Black Panther Party is one of the scariest people to most of these fucking idiots because they express their constitutional rights, and it terrifies these fucking people. Terrifies them.
Yeah.
And they get all butthurt saying, oh, well, you know, they shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be allowed. Well, they're just doing exactly what you're fucking bitching and moaning about.
Because they go with the old propaganda. Black people with guns have to be thugs and criminals.
Thugs, gang members. They can't just be an American. You know what I mean? They can't just be doing exactly what you're fucking saying that you're, you know, pro of. No, they have to be thugs. They have to be criminals. It's bullshit. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. I posted a fucking video to my Facebook. This is before anybody really took up, well, anybody that I knew at least took up any really like the social fucking whatever. And it was a white guy walking down a street with a fucking AR-15. Cops pass him, nothing. Yeah. Black guy walks down the same street with the exact same gun 2 hours later. He's got fucking 4 cop cars. He's on the ground. The fucking guns pointed at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't pointing at anybody. He's just walking. Yeah.
No. I mean,
there's definitely a double standard in America. We all know that.
Like, I'm honestly starting to fucking put on my conspiracy theory hat shit. And, like, it's almost like, you know, the fucking NRA is just the KKK. Like, it really is just a way for them to hold on to some of the racial fucking power that they had, you know, in the turn of our century. It's starting to feel that way. As fucking icky as that makes me feel saying it, you know what I mean? I don't want to get on that fucking level. But it almost does. Like, it almost feels like it's like a joke or something. Like, it's just not right. Something about the whole thing just isn't fucking right. It doesn't sit well with me.
It's mind-boggling. Yeah.
It doesn't sit well, but whatever.
Okay. Let's move on. We talked, as usual, too long about guns, as we always do. Yeah. Let's talk quick. I don't know this much about it. I don't understand a lot of it, but the data breach at Facebook.
Okay.
So we knew that came out a couple of weeks ago. The company called Cambridge Analytica harvested a lot of data from Facebook through apps. I'm assuming like game apps or like one of those apps like, you know, like what do I look like as a supermodel? Do we? So go ahead.
No, that's exactly what it is. Most of the data breach and shit like that, as far as I can tell, is from the elderly people. The people that are, like, unfortunately too dumb to, you know, check the sources of where they're going, or a lot of third-party advertisers and stuff like that. You know, oh, like, read this article, but you have to first sign into your Facebook. Well, you're already signed into Facebook. Why do you have to sign in? These people are harvesting your information. Now, I mean, I don't believe this stuff started out as something nefarious. I don't think it was about, you know, fucking over the common people. But
I think it's for advertisement, right?
Exactly. It's all for targeted advertising.
Yeah. So now they announced today that 87 million people have had their things harvested, their information compromised, scraped is the term they're calling it. 260 from Canada. I think we know at least one of those people. So now next week on the 11th, Mark Zuckerberg is going to testify before Congress and answer some questions about this. On Monday, they're saying that there's going to be a way for us to click and see which apps have harvested our data and if they're still active and what they have accessed. Which is, I mean, you're not going to be able to fix what's already been out there. So at least they're trying to show you what's happened and protect yourself now. You know, Facebook isn't going away. It's not
No.
going to be, done by this.
But let's not forget, this is also the same company that a little while ago was saying, we want to hold on to all your nudes to protect you.
Yeah.
Huge data breach, but we still want naked photos of our fucking users so we can protect you.
This is why you don't take naked photos and put them on Facebook, people.
Well, you don't put them
or
on
other
Facebook.
information. Like I don't have they keep trying to get me to associate my phone with my Facebook account. I don't.
That was the dumbest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Seriously, because now, I mean, I haven't in a while, but with me and getting booted off Facebook every once in a while, I can't make a new fucking profile on my phone. They just auto fucking ban it.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely on Monday, I'm going to put this in and we'll do a little practice run and see what apps have, and what they've done to me.
Yeah.
Because I do occasionally, I don't do a lot of those kind of apps that want you to sign in.
Yeah.
I did do the one, what do you look like as a man? Because I want to see if I look like my dad, which I did. That kind of thing. But it'll be interesting to see. And I hope that a lot of people out there will take advantage of that and see, I know a lot of people didn't do the fake news sites like they should have. But.
Yeah. But data breaching is going to be like the buzzword for this year.
Yeah,
it is. It's going to be the thing that we're talking about the most this entire year.
And we already saw Saks Fifth Avenue. Even Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Panera Bread had their rewards system hacked.
Yeah.
What was the other? Hudson's Bay here in Canada.
Bay, yeah. But that was part of the Saks one. That was all intertwined through that. See, that one to me was kind of smart. It's kind of smart because if they were pilfering money, they were doing it off people that could afford it. They could afford not to notice it going missing, especially a little bit at a time. It's
that's the smartest way. You don't take like $1 million right away.
No,
you take like $20 from $1 million people.
Exactly. You're laughing, especially a bunch of people that haven't dealt in terms of fucking like double-digit money, in their lives. Like I'm talking like you're fucking over millionaires, people that deal in like $10,000. Like that's their dollar to us,
Yeah, exactly.
You can
they don't do their own money. Somebody else is doing their money.
Exactly. Which is smart. It's so fucking smart. Like it almost be so detrimental to win the lottery and be so goddamn arrogant, like being somebody middle class, that you don't end up with an accountant or a trusted.
Oh my God, there's no way. If I won even over $1 million, because that's not even that much money right now. Anything over $1 million, I would definitely have to have a professional accountant, because I don't know anything about money. I know very minimum about even investing and stuff like that. There's no way I could do that on my own.
Yeah, because that's it, right? Like once you get to that type of cash flow, you're in a whole different fucking world. Like you're in a whole different world. It's not, you're not fucking making $100,000 a year. Like just owning the money you own makes you fucking money. You got, it's a whole different fucking ball game.
So, anyway, like I said, I don't understand a ton of it because I'm not that tech savvy, but it'll be interesting to see what comes up of it. I'm going to definitely read the Coles notes. I guess that's what we call them here. What do they call them in the States? They have a different term for them.
Trump's
another
notes.
C word. Yeah. The Coles notes version of what the articles are telling me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not smart enough to yes. The faux new version,
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of these stories because I just hate fucking people think that they're entitled to things. And I hate the word entitled. But here's the story about this dumb bitch. And that's what I'm going to call her, because she is. So this woman bought tickets to go on a cruise with her family. Now she's pregnant. She's 25 weeks pregnant. Her doctor cleared her to go on a vacation, and she had a doctor's note. But Disney says on their website, nobody who is more than 24 weeks pregnant is allowed to sail, because they don't have, a huge medical center. If you go into distress, you have a doctor on board, but the doctor is not, he's just a very basic doctor.
Yeah, he's
right. He or she.
Army field medic, someone that flunked out of actual medical school or some bullshit.
Yeah. So she showed up in Miami last week, and they said no.
Yeah.
You cannot board this boat. Huh? And armed police escorted her off the boat. Disney actually even refunded her, which is surprising because Disney refunds nothing.
Yeah, no,
they're tight as shit.
Yeah, they're like historically fucking cheap.
Yeah. And she's still complaining. This is still going into the newspaper. No bitch.
No,
Just because your doctor said you could go on a boat doesn't mean the boat has to take you. And it doesn't even matter, because when you're a private company like Disney, you can refuse service to anybody.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Like, for whatever reason they want. Like, if they want to come back out and be like, Walt didn't like the Jews, so we're not going to allow Jews on the fucking cruises anymore. I mean, it's disgusting, but they have every fucking right to lose their business that way if they want.
People would be upset and be like, no, I'm not going there anymore, but it doesn't matter. It's, you can do what you want.
Yeah. No, it's funny because, again, like, I guarantee you, it's just, people are so fucking entitled. They're so entitled. They're so entitled. The rules clearly state you can't fucking do it. Who the fuck do you think you are trying to circumvent the rules? Like, who honestly do you think you fucking are? And that's what, like, for me, what a lot of it is just people have this conflated fucking view of themselves, and they think they're better, higher up, more important than other people. Well, no, you're not above the rules. Suck a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Suck a dick is absolutely right. I like that.
Dick.
Now, on the flip side of that, there are some cruise ship passengers that are angry, and I kind of feel for them in this case. They got onto a 2-week cruise.
Yeah.
So now, think about it. When you're on a cruise, you're essentially locked on this boat for the most part, unless they go onto a land.
Yeah.
So they're on a 2-week cruise from Miami to Los Angeles. So they're going all the way down and around. I don't know if they go through do they go right around Magellan, or do they go through the Panama
Canal? I'd imagine Panama Canal. I'd highly doubt that you're going all the way down the fucking,
Yeah, that seems like it'd take longer than 2 weeks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, you're stuck on this boat anyway, Norwegian Cruise Line. Everything seemed beautiful the day they boarded, and then once they're on the boat, they started doing a whole lot of construction. There was a lot of noise. Apparently there was people kept saying there was thick dust and noxious smells. I guess because they were doing maybe the deck or doing some chemicals. I don't know. But people were really upset, and I kind of understand that. Like, if you're going to do construction, don't book somebody in the room next door to the construction site. Like, what the hell?
They don't give a fuck about you or your experience on their boat. You paid for the ticket. Suck a dick. Like, literally, no one fucking cares. Like, no one cares. You're paying a $1 billion corporation for tickets on a cruise ship. You paid for it. That's it. That's where the fucks they have run out. No longer do they care.
But I will say this. If I'm going on a cruise or a vacation, I'm expecting to relax, and I can't relax if somebody is freaking, what's that word? Jackhammering shit outside my fucking window.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the cruise ship did feel bad, I guess. The line felt bad, and they did offer 25% credit, which the people were like, 25%? I want the cash, not just more money to give back to Norwegian Cruise Lines. But
they don't even owe you a fucking refund.
No, they don't. But I mean,
I've been to resorts where I went just after a fucking hurricane blew through in the Dominican, and half the fucking resort was closed down, under construction. I'm hearing shit all fucking night. I didn't bitch and moan and cry and complain. It's my own fucking fault for going. You know what I mean? Like, you're not owed shit. And if something was given to me in return, like, hey, we're sorry, everything wasn't what you expected. I mean, be fucking happy you got something.
Yeah.
I just
when we were the first time we drove down east, we stopped in Quebec City, and we stayed in a hotel in downtown Quebec. And the hotel was fine, but they were building, I don't know, some super tower like right next door. And so there was some noise. It didn't bother me or anything. But I did read the comments on the reviews. People like, it was noisy. Like, they can't control if someone's gonna build a building beside them.
They're a hotel. They're not city planners. Like, fuck out of here. And again, you think the city gives a fuck about the hotel's revenue? Highly doubt it.
No, they're getting more revenue by building in this condo or business building, whatever they're putting in.
It's just, I mean, again, I just wish people would kind of come to the realization that the majority of the world doesn't care about you or your feelings.
Yeah, they don't.
No, that's rough, I guess, to hear, but it's the truth. Because it's the same for you. You don't care about my feelings. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't care about how things make me feel. Live your fucking life. Now, that's within reason. You know what I mean? Like, that's obviously within reason. You can't.
Yeah, we're not going to say, who cares if, the Russian government has come in and killed your whole family.
Yeah,
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, that's not within reason. Like, that's something that, people should probably give a fuck about. But no, like, construction, no one cares. Shut up.
Yeah. And that really is, first world problems. You're on a fucking beautiful cruise.
Yeah. Like, you're able to afford a fucking cruise to go tour around countries where these people couldn't even fucking sniff a fucking percent of what you just paid for said fucking cruise. And what? You're just going to sit there and bitch and moan and piss and complain?
I would complain about the smell. I don't like smells. And, like, I'm pretty patient. I forgive a lot of things. But I don't, like, if I want to have a nap and I hear noise, that does bother me. I hope they had noise canceling headphones to, like, buy on the hotel gift shop.
Like, it's just, it's stupid to me to expect the entire, like, everything to stop because there's something that you personally don't enjoy. Oh, like that.
Well, you know what people are like too? People think that their dollar, and this is not just in the tourist industry, but especially in the tourist industry. Even when you go into a donut shop, anything, they think that because you're bringing in your $1.50 or whatever, that, you're basically the same as, Queen Elizabeth or Obama or, somebody like, amazing and rich. And no, you're just a fucking average Joe, and I don't give a shit.
No, exactly.
You treat me with shit and you're getting it back, bud.
Right? You're
100%.
No one's owed anybody's respect. Like, there's a level of basic human respect that I do believe that we all owe one another. Common courtesy. We owe that to, to just be cordial with one another. You see someone fall, you help them up, like that kind of shit. But right there,
someone's coming, you open the door, you hold the door for them. Have a nice day. It's just you don't slam it in their face just because you see them coming, right?
But right at common courtesy, that's where my respect for you fucking ends. I don't care about you, your life story. I don't give a fucking shit because you guaranteed don't give a shit about me. And that's just the truth of human beings. We don't fucking really care about one another. Which, I mean, but the fuck thing is, and I was just reading or hearing this on the Rogan podcast, it's not just with human beings. Apparently fucking lobsters have shown a lot of unequal hierarchy throughout their fucking societies, which is fucking hilarious.
Wow, I didn't even know they interacted other than to bone.
That there are haves and have-nots when it comes to fucking lobster colonies.
Yeah.
And they actively pick out fucking other lobsters to pick on. As a fucking community.
God.
Yeah. Which, I mean, again, it got me fucking thinking because I was, arguing a little while ago about equality of, quality of fucking opportunity should equal equality of outcome. And this one kind of struck a chord with me because it's like, well, see, even in the animal kingdom, an animal that's been around probably a fucking billion years longer than we have, there's still inequality. They, you know what I mean? They still fucking like, no, fuck you. My first kind of encounter with that was with, those macaques in fucking Japan with the hot springs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where there's, the ones that are good looking and popular get to go in the hot springs. The other ones, fuck you. You ain't allowed in here. They're the same animals. They're the same animal. Animals that people like to fucking tote around is like, see, if we just acted more like that, it would be more harmonious. No, look at the inequality.
No, the animal world is definitely not filled with equality.
No, it's
look at wolves, right?
Yeah,
look at lions.
Yeah. Yeah, you are below me in the fucking hierarchy of the pack. That means I eat before you, and if you eat anything before me, not only am I going to kick your ass, the rest of the fucking pack's going to kick your ass.
Yeah, there's very few animals that are kind of like nice and. I mean, you think of elephants; they seem to in their family group. Now, remember, they live in a family group. If some random lady elephant showed up and tried to join, would they let them in? Who knows? I don't know enough about elephants to know that.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is. I never heard that. That's kind of neat.
Inequality.
So here's another tourist story. So it's kind of I'm torn between what an asshole and kind of laughing hysterically. So there's this guy, his name is Nick Burchell. He's from down east in Canada, Nova Scotia. 2001, he went to the Fairmont Empress in Victoria, British Columbia. So it's a very high-end, fancy hotel. This is where he gets me wrong because I feel like he did this on purpose. He brought some Brothers pepperoni from Halifax for some old Navy buddies or somebody like that. He said it's supposed to be eaten at room temperature, so he warmed it on the window sill, and he left the room. Then he thought maybe he should go back to the room and put it in the fridge. Oh no, sorry. He thought maybe it should be refrigerated. There was no fridge, so he left to go down. When he came back, the room was literally like 40 seagulls in there eating the shit out of it. And when he walked in, he scared them So they went fucking crazy and did what seagulls do.
Yeah.
And they start to squawk and shit and piss and knock shit over and crash. And so he was banned from the hotel since 2001.
That's it? Only
this
banned?
year? Well, you know, he'd never go to the hotel again. I don't even think he was charged. Maybe he had to cover the damages. I don't know.
All right.
So he wrote a letter this year. Apologizing, you know. He's like, you know, I feel bad. I think about the maid. He remembers the maid's face when she opened the door and saw the room. You know, 17 years later, the hotel's forgiven him and he's allowed to come back.
How fucking Canadian.
I know. I'd be like, fuck you, Nicholas Burchill. You're never coming back to my hotel.
Well, like, some of the blame's got to be put on the hotel. I mean, why do you got windows that seagulls can get through? The fuck's wrong with you?
Well, you know now that there's probably no hotel windows in the world above one story that open.
Yeah, you'd hope. But that's fucking hilarious. That's so funny.
Oh my God. But I really think, I mean, you didn't put the pepperoni on the windowsill for... You must have known something bad would happen, no?
I mean, people are dumb.
I don't know what story
people can be relatively oblivious to shit like that. You know
That's
what I mean?
True.
Like, you know, we're not fucking on top of our game all the time, you know.
Yeah.
That's still funny.
This quote is funny. The result was a tornado of seagull excrement, feathers, pepperoni chunks, and fairly large birds whipping around the room. The lamps were falling. The curtains were trashed.
That's amazing. That's fucking amazing. Like,
he waded through the birds and opened all the remaining windows. In his agitated state, he threw a shoe at one of the confused birds who tried to fly back into the room. Both the shoe and the seagull went out the window.
That's against the law, man. You can't be fucking hurting seagulls here in Canada. That's a $5,000 fine. Fucking Dave Winfield, 1993. Never forget.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't George Bell do something too?
I think so. There's a few.
Like way back at Jay's Stadium when it was at the X, right?
Yeah, I think maybe that's what I'm thinking.
He hit a ball into a bird, I think, but not on purpose. I think he hit the ball with the bat, and I think it hit the bird. I'm
equating that to Winfield then. Because, yeah, I remember that. I remember the fucking buddy smashing the ball going. You just see, poof, bunch of fucking feathers. And then he got fucking fined $5,000 because it's illegal to kill a fucking seagull.
But you can't control that shit, man. If you hit your ball and a bird flies in front of the ball, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Seagulls aren't smart. There's a lot of smart birds in the world. Seagulls are not one of them.
Yeah, they're not one of the ones that evolved from dinosaurs. Like they evolved from like fucking like swamp guck. You know, like
oh, they're so dumb. And like I don't understand why when a seagull finds some food, it feels the need to tell every other seagull in the world it found some food instead of just eating it fast.
Exactly. It tells all the other seagulls, and then they get in this giant fucking seagull fight over who gets to eat this fucking piece of moldy bread. Like, the fuck, bro?
Just eat it fast, man.
Like, I'll be
You think my dog stands there and tells the other dog when it got a treat?
Yeah.
Hell no. It eats it quick before the other dog gets something.
Like, I'll be standing on my fucking deck having a smoke, and the seagulls are out, and I'll fucking, you know, just flick my cigarette butt in my yard, and they'll go fight over who gets to eat the fucking cigarette butt. Oh,
my God.
There's a fucking animal I wouldn't cry if they fucking went extinct. Because you know it'd be by their own fucking validity. Like, you know it'd be because of their own stupid fucking bullshit. Eating fucking cigarette butts and fucking drinking Drano and shit like that.
Oh, they eat everything, and that's the problem. They're so dumb. So let's go on. Stupid seagulls and this guy in his hotel. So here's the story that came out, and I'm not surprised by this story 100%. So a woman took a DNA test from Ancestry, and she got matched to a man as her father that she's never heard of.
Okay.
She's like, what? Something's got to be wrong. So she talked to her mom. She's like, Mom, you know, something's wrong. Her parents are now divorced. So she talked to her mom first, and she's like, you know, something's weird. You know, I'm sure it's a mistake. You know, I've never even heard of this guy. So unbeknownst to her, her parents had trouble conceiving. They went to a fertility doctor, and the doctor said that he was going to, because the mother had a tilted uterus, he was going to mix the father's sperm with another person they selected because that would give them a better chance of having a baby.
Okay.
They picked an 18-year-old college student, you know, that was brown hair and tall and handsome. And the doctor did not do that. He took his own sperm and mixed it with the thing. He delivered the baby. He knew that she was pregnant, and he was pretty 100% sure that he was the father. Before they could tell, because she called up her ex-husband, and the parents did not get a chance to tell the daughter, she found her birth certificate and saw that the doctor she was matched to had signed her birth certificate.
Huh.
You know, she put one and one together and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, now she's suing. She's suing. Because they didn't use the right sperm and he's the father. Apparently when they moved to Washington, because
Okay.
she still saw him for many years. He was crying hysterically when they moved to Washington. I guess because his daughter was leaving town and he wasn't going to see her again.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
I don't know
He put
about
himself
this.
on the internet. Like, you don't have to agree to share your DNA. So he
No,
did the DNA test, and maybe he thought he would find his daughter.
maybe. That's. I mean, I don't know about the suing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of monetary right you have, but I mean, definitely some kind of like assault.
Criminal.
I think. Yeah. Like,
It's
especially
criminal,
as far as
yeah.
the mother's concerned, like the mother of said
Yes.
kid. Because I mean, if she didn't agree to have this man's fucking, seed
Child.
inside of her, then the fuck, like that's not
Yeah.
like you can't do that to somebody. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And we've seen instances like that where people have gone to sperm banks and like there's like, 25 kids that all come from the same, man that ran
Yeah.
the sperm bank or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely against the law. And he's already retired, so he's not going to lose his license.
Yeah.
But they're suing him and the obstetric, oh my God, I'm not going to say it. OBGY Associates of Idaho Falls, accusing them of medical negligence, fraud, battery, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and breach of contract.
Breach of contract, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's not cool. That's not.
And you like battery, like you said, it's some sort of assault. So I guess that's the battery that they can go for.
I mean, in nowadays standards, like that guy should technically be charged with a rape. He technically raped that mother. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's fucked up. That's not cool. Like, that's not cool at all.
But what a kind of fascinating. Like, she's just expecting to find out she's like, 1% Native American and gets a whole new daddy.
Yeah, right. Like, ugh. I mean, I'd just be hoping that like a fucking lonely doctor jerked off into my sample or some shit. Like, this is a can of worms,
Yeah. Yeah. And now, I mean, who's to say he hasn't done that to other people?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, anybody who had him as a fertility doctor and got sperm.
Yeah, I'd be looking into
needs to go do some DNA testing.
Was his name released?
Yeah, I just closed it, but his name was definitely released.
Good.
Mortimer something.
Yeah. Mortimer. Yeah, a dude with name Mortimer would definitely pull some shady shit like that. Like when you're a doctor and making bank and you can't even pull a lady, you know what I mean? You got to spread your seed this fucking weird ass way.
Yeah. And now this brings us to our next story, which I think is a fantastic story. This came out last week. We didn't get a chance to talk to it. Liberal MP is saying that he wants to change the law that says you can't pay a surrogate, a sperm donor, or an egg donor in Ontario or in Canada. He wants it changed because he thinks that it would give more people options to have babies, right? Yeah. And Trudeau says, yeah, it's time to look at these laws and lift the ban. He said that today. So,
yeah. I mean, Trudeau ain't gonna do it because it doesn't really have anything to do with like social fucking issues. But I mean, it's a cool sentiment, I suppose.
Well, maybe he'll support the law if his MP, puts it forth, right?
Yeah. Well, no, because he's got to find a new social cause to fucking champion. His election's, only around the corner. And I mean, with this whole fucking, the guy's done shit all for the country except make himself look good for it, which I guess is great, but we've never really been looked down in the world scope. So for all the work that he's put in to make himself and make us, technically us look good is bullshit. Like, how about actually doing something for us? I'm sick and tired of him caring and championing more social issues than real fucking policy. Like, fuck off. Just saying you're going to fucking legalize marijuana doesn't mean you get to go gallivant around the world and not do anything else.
We have more issues than legalizing marijuana. Exactly. We definitely have a lot more problems in the world,
so
in our country. Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, I think this is a great idea. Like, I personally know people that have not been able to conceive. They, I don't want to give their story. They've had a hard time conceiving. And to have a surrogate, I don't know if they'd have the money to pay for a surrogate. That would be beyond belief for them because I think they would be able to make an egg and a sperm. I just don't know if they could carry the baby. So for somebody else to carry their baby would be a miracle.
Yeah. The issue, though, comes within like surrogacy prostitution. That's really the only way I can kind of describe it. Because,
or even harvesting eggs without someone's consent.
Because I look at it like this, I'm fairly certain I've brought this person from my childhood up that was groomed from an early age to start having children as early as possible so they can get the largest welfare check they can for as long as they possibly can. Yes, and that's a real fucking thing. Now we might end up with people who are coaching their children to become surrogates as early as they can and do it as much as they can, regardless of the health, how detrimental to their health it potentially can be.
Don't know if this will change, but I know in Canada, to be a surrogate, you have to have had at least one child.
That's good.
So you can't just be like, say, my daughter Marley turns 18 and starts popping out babies.
And this is just a revenue stream for her.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's
I know
a real
you have
issue.
to be, and they actually kind of look and make sure that you're like stable. They do prefer people that are in a family.
Yeah.
Just because you're not probably going to be like, this is my baby and I'm going to keep it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't do that shit if you're surrogating for somebody. You just can't.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate.
Well, it happened. Remember, it happened when it first started back in the 90s. People did try that a couple times.
Because, I know, and I mean, I've seen this on a Vice News thing years ago about this pretty much exact same scenario playing out in places like Vietnam and Cambodia and stuff. Where they're just training these young girls to have children, like to become surrogates as early as they can.
Yeah.
Which essentially is you're whoring yourself. You're prostituting yourself out.
Is the good thing. If they make it possible here in Canada, then you wouldn't have these people, these couples going to these countries and exploiting.
Well, and that's it, right? Because it is mostly Canadian American affluent people
Australians,
that are doing it.
And
Aussies, but it's rough to me. Like, to me, that's not appropriate.
No.
And I mean, the worst thing about that is they were talking to this one chick who was essentially doing it just because she didn't want to ruin her body. She didn't want to go through a natural birth because, ridiculous. You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, that's real fucked up.
Selfish.
Like, and I'm all about being selfish. Like, I'm probably one of the most selfish people you'll ever encounter in your life. But, there's a fucking line, and you're playing with another human being's fucking life all because you're selfish.
And this fucking cute designer. Your child could die.
All for what? Because you don't want to ruin your body, and you want some cute minority fucking baby to show off at your fucking, your cocktail parties. So just to show how fucking progressive you are, like, fuck off.
Well, and in America, people have been paying for sperm for years and years. That's pretty common. I don't know. I think you can charge for an egg in the U.S. as well. I think people donate eggs for money there too.
Fairly certain, as far as TV's shown me. Yeah. I mean, because again, I know nothing about this shit. Like, I don't want kids, so last thing I'd ever learn about, But
I mean,
it's messed
up. I kind of hope it passes, and we've got to have strict laws on who can become a surrogate, who can donate eggs, and who can donate sperm.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that people aren't being exploited.
Well,
we don't want me taking my 13-year-old son and selling his sperm.
Yeah. Well, like, it's just, again, like, because even that kind of shit, like, I kind of equate it to prostitution. It's because you're doing something that any other fucking human being can do naturally, but you're charging money for it.
Yeah.
Which essentially is, prostitution, right?
Yeah.
Every single one of us is physically capable of having sex.
Oh, yeah.
But you're charging money for it, which is a lot of the reason why a lot of people look down upon it. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I don't know. It's just different selling your sex than selling, like, your literal fucking body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because to me, like, every time I heard that, prostitution, you're selling your body, it's like, no, you're renting it. You know what I mean? Like, as cliched and cheesy of a line as that is, it's the truth. You're renting it. Like, you're not selling shit. You are selling your body when it comes to, like,
and
surrogacy.
When you sell an egg or a sperm, I mean, you can't sell your baby.
No.
Right? Like, I can't have a baby and be like, you know what? I'll sell this baby for $50,000 to you.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some ethical things people will have to, sort out in their minds.
Yeah. Even that, the prevalence I've seen in the last little bit of, like, young girls selling their virginities is
I just saw that
mind-blowing.
A girl from the UK that got over 1 million from supposedly an American actor, a very famous American actor.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. I'm sure his name wasn't Sheikh Abdullah fucking something or other.
Yeah,
because I mean, again, I know I know that came out exactly how it came out, but it's unfortunately the fucking truth. Like, I'm not.
No, I mean, there's the yachting season for a reason. The sheikhs go to the Mediterranean, and they buy a lot of very famous actresses and models because the girls can make, $50,000 for 2 weeks on a yacht.
Yeah, for doing what? For suntanning, and then probably
Yeah.
a hand job or two.
Couple blowjobs, maybe,
Exactly.
maybe they got to actually have an actual full on,
And 50 grand's
coitus,
for like
but
a fucking C-lister, you know what I mean? Like if you're goddamn like Gwyneth
yeah.
Paltrow or Miley fucking Cyrus, you're making a couple million fucking dollars for doing what?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
I know that they were trying to get one of the Duggar girls.
yeah, I
That they
remember that.
literally
Yeah.
were trying to get her, and they were trying to get like millions for her.
Yeah.
Of course, she didn't do it because she's super religious. But yeah, they were trying to get the Duggar girl.
Yeah, no, it's and that's it, right? We have to be very careful with any time that people can be exploited because, like I keep saying, we're fucking great at it. Like our species is the best at exploitation. We are.
Yeah.
Like we cannot be beat. Like it's the only time that if Trump ever said, we're the best at something. If he said exploitation, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd stand up and I'd clap for the guy. Like, fuck yeah, it's about time. Your fucking bullshit made some fucking sense, bud.
Okay, so here's the last story I want to talk about. I want to talk about on my a couple weeks now, and we just never we always run out of time. This time we're talking about it because I think it's gonna make you a little heated.
Oh, yeah.
Go out on a bang.
Yeah.
So there's a town in Quebec. It's a wealthy municipality.
Okay.
Hampstead, Quebec, and there's only 7,000 people in the town, but they have passed a bylaw.
Mm-hmm.
And the bylaw is, and this is not just about marijuana, it's about tobacco, no public smoking anywhere outside of a public residence or a vehicle.
Fuck you.
Like you can't stand in front of your house on the city street and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Look, I mean, even with the anti-smoking laws here, I'm not allowed to fucking have a cigarette and walk down the sidewalk. I still do it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for not smoking around children. I mean, I really fucking am. Being a kid that grew up around smokers and shit, like I understand that it can't be fucking good for my health, so I don't do it around children. Yeah. As long as I'm not outside. Like if I'm outside, I don't really give a fuck. I'm outside. You're not gonna die a secondhand fucking smoke inhalation if we're standing in a fucking park and I'm having a cigarette. Like fuck you.
Yeah. But, open air, as open as you can get.
Who the fuck is any Quebecer, any motherfucking Quebecer, to talk shit about our smoking laws, to say when and where we can smoke, when the two giant fucking tobacco companies in Canada, Imperial and McDonald, are both fucking from Quebec. Yeah. Like you guys are the ones that peddle the fucking cigarettes on us, but yeah, you're gonna tell me when and where I can fucking have a cigarette? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
I think a lot of this really is to do with cannabis, marijuana. Yeah, they don't want people smoking joints. Yeah. They've got to tie the two in together because people are like, wait a minute, how can you say one and not the other? But just, the
fact is, smoking marijuana in public, it's going to be a touch and go kind of situation for the first little bit once the shit's legalized. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot of bullshit.
This town, I just don't think wants the undesirables in their neighborhood because they literally said this. If someone wants to have a cigarette while walking their dog, they can do so outside of Hampstead's borders.
Well, and there it is too, right? And I guarantee you they have a fucking homeowners association to be there, and your lawn has to be manicured at fucking 1 3 fucking quarters inch, and if you don't, they fucking up your taxes. Like, fuck people like that. Literally fuck people like that. Fuck you and the fucking
I'd sit on my front porch and just smoke so much. Even if I wasn't smoking, just like light it off and smoke cigarettes and light off weed. I'd have parties where people sat on my deck and just fucking smoked like crazy.
Hey, if you're not paying my motherfucking bill, shut your goddamn whore mouth. Like flat out. First and foremost, like just shut the fuck up. You have no right to tell me fucking shit. The only time I ever agreed with that was when they passed a law in Ontario stating that you're not allowed to smoke in a car with anybody under 16. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I understand.
100%.
That's something that I'd be willing to give a little, give the fucking leg room with. But if they said you're not allowed to smoke in your own fucking vehicle, suck my fucking god. Yeah. Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are to tell me what I can and can't do?
I'm not a smoker. I've never been a smoker. No. I 100% agree with people not smoking in their cars with children there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, that's reasonable.
I kind of understand why some apartment buildings don't want it to do it, but still, if someone's paying money, you have to give them at least some place that they can smoke, whether it's a balcony, whether it's a smoking room on each floor, something where people can at least smoke, because the smokers are still people. They should still be allowed to have all the other freedoms of the world, to rent an apartment.
I heard this once years ago. And it was funny because in the context, it was when our province banned smoking in bowling alleys and shit like that, right? And I heard someone say like, "Oh, you're treating smokers like fucking second class citizens," and I laughed. And I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot," you know what I mean? And then now I'm kind of like, "Fuck, man! Like we kind of are being treated as second class citizens."
Yeah.
Like, I understand. My smoking habit is disgusting. It's probably going to cause fucking health concerns for me down the fucking road. I get it. I understand. I'm not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? Where the fuck I can and can't
do?
So
on your way down east next time, you'll stop in Hampstead and smoke some cigarettes.
Fuck them. Bunch of fucking tabernacles.
Maybe not smoke. Just dump the ashtray on the street.
See, no, I won't do that because that's littering. And even me, like, I don't really stand for that level of fucking littering, you know? But no, fuck that shit. Like, it's just so dumb. It's so fucking stupid. And again, for any Quebecer, any fucking Quebecer to talk shit about cigarettes, like, you literally need to take a long, hard fucking look in that mirror and that fucking yellow tobacco stained fucking mirror that you force down the rest of our fucking country. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
What about vaping? Now, would vaping count as cigarette? If you vape the marijuana or you vape some tobacco down there?
I mean, vaping should just be outlawed. Period.
It's so gross. I hate it.
No smoking robot dicks anywhere. You're just not allowed to.
What about a bong? What if I walk down the street with a bong?
Yeah, no, because you're still smoking. Well, there it is, right? Like, if that's the case, and it is, like, as you said, to kind of keep the undesirable fucking pot smokers out, I mean, just, go flood their fucking market with edibles.
They're probably all in fucking pills there anyway. These rich people popping their Xanaxes and all that shit.
Adderall and shit.
You gotta wake up all night long.
Isn't that the funniest part though? Because it is always these fucking like quote unquote well-to-do fucking housewives that drink fucking 7 bottles of wine a night, trying to tell the rest of us how to fucking live our lives. Like,
I can't stand this wine mommy culture that's come out. And I mean, I'm not a prude. Like, if you want to drink a fucking glass of wine, go for it. I don't care. But like, stop trying to make it seem like you drink a bottle of wine every night and that you're a cool mom because of that. No, you're an alcoholic.
So cool. Yeah, exactly. You're a drunk. Like, we got words for that. Functioning alcoholic. Like,
yeah.
That's what you are. It's not cool to drink every day, especially by your fucking self.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can get this freaking fanny pack that I can hide my wine in to go to my kid's soccer game.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
Like, and that's it too. Like, oh, I can hide this and go take my kids to soccer. So now you're drunk driving with your fucking kids in the car. Yeah. Like, oh, that's great. Like, parent of the fucking year. Please tell me more about how I am fucking. Tell me more about my shortcomings as a fucking parent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, well, you smoke cigarettes and you smoke weed. And you don't fucking drink 6 bottles of wine or boxes of wine, and then drive around in your fucking minivan.
Your fucking Vicodins.
Exactly. Like, what? You don't even take 7 different types of pain meds when you wake up? Get on my level. Like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Go idolize them stupid plastic whores on fucking the Real Housewives of whatever jerk off fucking town it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off.
Anyway, I told you it would get him getting a little feisty, so I should have started with that one. Anyway, so thanks for listening. I'll be back on Sunday with Justin, I think maybe later than 12 as usual. And we'll be back on Monday at our regular time. Have a good week.
Yeah, take care.